Good. We back. Another episode of Unsolicited Reviews. Okay. The yo has evolved over the years, so if you haven't, go back to listen to episode 1 to now. You started after episode 1. Episode 1 you did not start.
Now I don't know what episode it was.
Yeah.
No, definitely because I was fake A Mike the first one.
Maybe you was a little lit and you just like, yo.
This nigga was Montel Williams and shit. Reading off interview questions.
We did used to get too lit on the pod.
Maybe we gotta bring that back.
What? Let's bring it back.
What, too drunk?
In February. No.
You mean
March.
So you can't do nothing next month, B.
March.
All right, so we back. Another episode of Unsolicited Reviews. It's John. I'm back another year, 2022. It's Mel. It's Ma. Sid Parks on the side. She's here.
That's not the name we decided on, was it?
He always uses Sid Parks.
He likes Sid Parks.
Okay,
He's
we're gonna rock with it. All right.
So,
get your shit
Unsolicited Reviews. If this is your first time listening, you're about to experience something so cold. We never had nothing handed. Look, you don't even know what song it is.
Yeah, there you go. No, I don't know, but I was rocking. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, that's first album. First song, first album. So now we here. We here. We want to say like this year, the pod, we're going to try to give you something.
Old Kanye.
Me too. Well, I like the new one. That last album was hot. So this year with the pod, we're gonna try to bring y'all some different content, some more, enamoring content, get the people going.
Less
more
toxic,
events.
John.
Hey, I'm not the most toxic.
No, he said more toxic, John.
More events if the Omarion did chill.
Or whatever the next variant.
I'm about to say, I definitely want to go back to that spot. Yeah, that spot was cool.
With the cues? Oh, okay.
And no, I don't have it. If anybody's wondering, because I got a mask on. I don't.
He watched the CDC website.
Yeah, I'm following CDC guidelines.
Yeah. Which one? The old rules or the new
ones?
The updated one.
The one about ginger ale.
The Trump one or
3 feet.
You know what they say about the CDC? They said you're gonna
3 to 5 days.
CDC said you can go jump in the harbor. Yeah, that's what crazy.
Yeah. So you go in there, do the butterfly freestyle.
Oh, you ain't been on CDC Twitter? Shit crazy.
No, they didn't really see that, did they?
No, they did.
Get the fuck out.
No, they
no.
did.
I'm on
fake,
Twitter.
Yeah, not the real CDC.
They're making up all these CDC guidelines. That's the new thing.
Yeah, CDC did have a crazy ass line in their guidelines on Twitter.
What's that?
I forgot. I can't find that.
No, the White House was crazy.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, it was the White House. The White House CDC
basically told people they was trying to die over the holidays. I'm like, well, dang.
So
the choices you make are yours.
What you gonna say about COVID? The long and short of COVID is, if you ain't get it, it's coming for you.
No, it ain't. I'm ducking and dodging.
This nigga John is the worst.
Y'all is not getting me. I feel like especially,
I don't even know how I didn't.
Yeah, but same for real. That shit everywhere, yeah.
Over the holidays, it was like left and right. Like,
a lot of people did have COVID. You just missed your testing window.
Yeah.
Where you would test positive, or you just didn't have no symptoms, so you ain't test.
And that's what I was telling people about the at-home kits, because a lot of the at-home kits come with 2 tests. You're supposed to take one and then take the second one 24 hours later. People don't be doing that. They just be taking one and be like, oh, I'm negative. I'm like, no. You didn't take the second one 24 to 36 hours later to confirm that you were negative.
I've been doing the old test for COVID, so I see how it's weird. Like 2 days later, they totally positive.
Yeah. So people not actually realizing how long it takes. You could be contagious and not test positive, and people not realizing.
You gotta cook it up. You gotta cook up good in your body.
All this shit ain't going nowhere, yo. Just get used to it, baby.
Hey.
Well, hopefully they can get the vaccine as good as the flu vaccine. So even if it's still around,
people still gotta take it though.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's what
I'm glad people aren't dying.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is now.
I mean, people are dying, just not at
a high rate.
The situation's a pretty outlier now. It's kind of like
because now if you pass away, it's like, they weren't vaccinated.
Not necessarily.
I mean, but that's usually one of the first things.
Extreme comorbidities.
Yeah,
extreme comorbidities.
Like they try to make it like, they need to outline conditions.
That's the government for your ass.
Outline conditions. They just want to vaccinate.
They didn't like what we sold them. Look, that's what you get. You get death.
Did y'all get the chicken pox?
Yes, I had chicken pox.
I get all the shots.
No, but did you actually get? Because we were born before the vaccine, the chicken pox vaccine. Yeah. So did you actually get chicken pox?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
we were actually at the cusp when it just came out. Me and you.
But I still got chicken pox.
Their old asses, they definitely had it.
Yeah. We the same age.
I'm saying we in the same age. We in the same decade now.
No, because the vaccine came out in '95. I got it when I was 3. So literally, I got it the year that the vaccine came out. Right. So it was just a little.
We were still in vaccine mode when.
They was just rolling it out.
But just to circle back, y'all niggas the same age as us.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I already tell people I'm 30.
John apparently isn't.
He
thinks that he's younger than us. No, he's not.
Because you ain't know what CLB was.
Come on, I don't know what a lot of shit is, but when you explain it,
you're not old. You just disconnected. You like being disconnected though.
Yeah.
The reason why it reminds me that you're not old is when I talk to Bree, because she's more connected. So I'm just like, oh, okay, you just choose not to indulge.
I look at the same when I get on social media. I'm not looking for anything.
You got to switch it up. You can't. You got to stop with those Instagram models, man. Huh? They don't evolve you.
You on social media?
There's nothing negative about them. I'm starting to unfollow shit that is negative.
You should. Oh, you done with the murder energy anymore? You done with the murder ink?
Yeah. Oh, I unfollowed them a while ago, yo.
I stopped.
I scroll and I see somebody getting shot. I'm like, all right, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't need this in my spirit, yo.
So safe to say you don't have Citizen that.
I downloaded it again only because I was in Chicago. I went to Chicago.
I remember you telling me that story.
You like, I gotta keep my ears to the street.
I was in the hotel. Yeah, I heard a gunshot, and I was like, let me download this app, see what's going on.
No, that should be hella clutch. I'm like, about 650 feet away.
It told me exactly where it was.
Oh wow!
It gives you how far you are from the event.
That was just Jesse Smollett doing another stunt.
I wonder how much time he gonna get, if any.
Community service.
Yeah.
It was just more embarrassing.
And money. He probably had to pay some fines.
It really wasn't that bad. It was more embarrassing. Then he never gonna get a job again. So
he came out with a movie recently.
I must say, yeah.
Oh, he about to go on the BT run.
No, I mean
he fucking gonna get a Netflix special.
He gonna get a biopic.
Because Netflix been hoeing out these actors and actors, yo. Yeah. Like y'all see Don't Look Up.
Oh yeah,
I
saw that with Tyler Perry.
It's hella people in there
randomly.
Let me ask y'all a question, y'all men.
Ariana
Grande. No, I just won't answer.
No, yeah. Ariana Grande. What's y'all take on Ariana Grande?
What about her?
What you mean?
I mean, I can't look at her. I always think she's goofy based on her origins. What was that, Cat and Sam?
Yeah. It's a little. Do you think she plays to the little girl thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely does.
Even though you didn't ask me.
It's a little creepy to me.
Yeah, I mean,
she says creepy.
It's creepy. It's like Chloe.
I mean, she plays into the Grande, and that's not how you pronounce her last name.
What is it?
It's Grande.
Is it
but
really?
she plays into the Grande because she wants y'all to think that she Latina when she not. She white. She spicy white. That's it.
Or like Rachel.
But she play into that shit.
I didn't even know. She got me.
None of her family members pronounce her last name like that.
I guess the situations protect black women, not them other ones. Okay.
It's like Rachel and Dooley Sausage.
I never heard that. That's funny.
But it's just creepy. And Chloe's a good singer, but they got to dial back to sex.
I mean, she's
coming into her own.
I understand all that.
It's her coming into her grown woman.
It just seems like somebody it went from 0 to they just turned it up so quick.
Or it was already there, but it was probably
regular. But
I think they were compressing it before.
Yeah, it was compressing. Yeah,
I know, but I think
now she's being we seeing her authentic self now.
Because they didn't have their personal social media before. They always had joint social media, so their personal social media was always private.
They should have did the Rihanna stimulus on her, like how Rihanna slowly got worse. Like she slowly got sexy. She went from Partner Replay to Good Girl Gone Bad, and then now it's like
Savage Fenty.
Yeah, so I'm saying I thought they would just like unroll it a little slower.
Well, her little sister's unrolling it slower. But I mean, she's younger.
Maybe it's just it might be just a preference.
They also different people, and that's okay.
Rihanna, yeah.
That's what I love when Rihanna drop pictures and videos of her in her lingerie and Savage Fenty is so great.
Yeah, Savage Fenty's amazing.
Y'all could just go buy some.
Yes, they got
for yourselves.
I see. I be seeing big ass niggas on my timeline. And I need to start sending them all every time I see it. Like, get on these, yo. Let us know.
Because they go up to like 3 or 4 X.
And Maul become a Savage Fenty model.
He could. You could do it. We believe in you.
I might get my Savage Fenty big man model bag. Yeah,
let's do it.
If you think the DMs is crazy now,
oh jeez.
What you talking about? What DMs?
I see
okay. My shit broke.
Allegedly.
Oh, just you can't hit that button in the corner?
Yeah, no. My phone cracked.
I got you.
Right in the corner.
That's right there. So a touchscreen crazy.
So what would y'all say? What is some of y'all goals for the podcast this year? What's y'all goals for the pod this year?
Goals for the pod?
Yeah.
All right, like you said, more events. I definitely want to, because our events been popping. I'm not the toot on horn. Toot.
He's our events been popping.
Yeah, it was people that was upset that they missed the last.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. A lot of people were mad they missed it.
And I was like, we wouldn't have been able to fit y'all. So I'm glad you did.
High key, they was like, I would have came. I was like, well, I was literally doing like social media promotions. I don't know how you did not know.
Right.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
No, so like when we host the next event, we gotta go look at all them comments and be like, did you see? Like,
go back
since
to
you
old
said
folks
you was upset that you missed it.
Reply to them, event coming.
Right. So.
we didn't say that on the air, but appreciate everybody for coming to the event. It was a very special time. It was fun. It had a lot of time.
I like that spot a lot.
The spot was very good. It was intimate, but big enough where so you could spread out. And I think the crowd was great. When people
had its unruly moments.
Right, when people are yelling and talking and nobody can hear it, that just means everybody having a good time.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all I take that. Everybody having a good time. I'm just glad everybody had a good time and everybody's thriving out here. So
people was coming up until we was ending.
Yeah.
Right. And people didn't want to leave. So I always
it
felt like it felt like Melchella. That's what it felt like.
Melchella.
That's good. That's popping.
Yeah.
You lit.
No shit was way better than Melchella.
Oh.
The wine tours be all right. You don't like that?
I was just trying to make our event sound really good.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. But I appreciate
both are just great.
So, I think woman is our base. So, this year we're going to have...
If Omarion chill.
Yeah, we got to chill out. Rap it, everybody, before they give them that bus.
No, really.
I mean, yeah. I'm done with that.
What I'm about to say. So we realize our base is a lot of women listeners. We know it's a lot of women listeners. So we're going to try to gear our content towards...
Didn't we already do that?
I thought we did.
We're going to try to get
even more.
Gear content to men?
No, towards...
He wants to lean in.
Oh, you want to lean into it. I thought
put your shoulder in a little bit.
Okay.
Do a shoulder lean, yeah.
Because we need to talk about that.
Do some young drill.
You see the shirt? So I'm trying to lean all the way in.
All right.
Yeah, we trying to...
But you was talking real bad about Issa.
I was about to say
we get into that.
We get into
that. But anything y'all want to say about
ancestors weren't happy
in 2021?
Well, yeah, I ain't even finished. I want to be able to tell who our listeners are.
I think we're going to do more
YouTube a little more. Because I think we got a lot of listeners. Because I think we all had these stories where we go somewhere and somebody like, listen to y'all pod.
Yeah, that happened at my part time. So I was like, I listen to y'all podcast, man. Like, some good content.
We got to figure out how to get them more engaged, and that's what I want.
But it threw me. But the one part that threw me off was like, I followed you on YouTube. Like, you follow us on YouTube?
Yeah, we have a YouTube.
I haven't watched a YouTube video in a while.
We dropped a live event YouTube that was surprisingly it looked good. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay. Yeah. And I think we're gonna start dropping every episode on YouTube. Starting with this one.
We gotta get y'all to take a self-defense class like Rory and Maul did.
We are gonna do some content. I'm working on the Maul yoga.
I can't wait to see.
And I want to take Melvin to.
Y'all niggas is wow.
I want to do a Melvin an actual zodiac spot, like when
or like a palm reading.
Yeah,
situation.
I'm gonna give him a palm reader.
Yeah.
Not on the palm. I want to go to the spot.
Yeah. So
and
he could be
see
in
if
the
she
ambiance.
make him cry.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I got a palm reading, I cried.
Did you?
Well, we had him cry the last time we had the horse.
Oh yeah, you did.
So
cry.
we gotta get the Maul to cry.
Yeah.
I never seen him Maul cry. I'm worried about him.
I've never seen Maul cry either. I don't think about it.
First time for everything.
He'll probably look where Ruben Studdard cry.
He'll probably laugh it off
like that.
He definitely would laugh it off.
I'm sorry for 2004 type nigga. Anybody ever call you Ruben?
Back in the day, yeah.
Ruben could say no.
I mean, I'm like every fat nigga like embodied.
Literally.
Who is the most famous person somebody tell you look like? Is anybody one person? Because I got one person.
I already know you. I know you about to say Phase on Love.
Who's your fat nigga big bro?
My fat nigga big bro.
Yeah.
My fat nigga. I mean, it gotta be Rick Ross, yo.
Oh, Ross. Okay.
It gotta be Ross.
That's me now.
He eat pears.
I mean, I eat pears too.
I
just overindulge.
Too many pears.
So I guess
I get James Harden so much, and it's like,
that's how you know you lost that weight. That's how you're not big fella no more.
Yeah,
that's true.
The real James Harden-esque.
Medium fell in 1906. We're gonna get Maul and Mel more active on socials as well as myself. I always count.
You're
the least active nigga on there.
That's true. Active. You only post when it's about your family.
Literally.
That's it.
And repost.
You know why I feel like I'm active? Because I post on the pod page.
Oh, that's true.
That's probably,
I understand that.
It feels like my post, but it's not.
We know it's your post when it's a typo.
Oh. That's what we here for, right?
Not that's what we here.
Yeah, I fix them a lot.
That's what we here for. I was like, look, the content out there. You don't stop me from watching. That's how I know people don't read. Because I did a reel. The reel was nasty. I spelled something wrong. I was like, I quoted myself. I was like, oh.
That's how you know it's bad when you called it.
I said, oh, man, nobody said nothing about this. I said, Sid nobody saw it yet.
Must have just
but you know, most reels, it don't show the caption. Just
you got to click on it. I do too.
I loved it.
And you got to click on it, man. Then you got to click more. I'm like, golly, you don't want me to read this at all.
I stopped reading captions.
So, a couple things happened in 2022
in 2 days. Like, damn, what happened?
Right, like already, shit.
That we need to cover. So we do need to stop right here and talk about this Insecure finale. So Insecure is a TV show on HBO. If you don't know, most of y'all know. Great TV show. I love it a lot. It's very. I guess when it came out, it was very in because it really...
It still wasn't, because a lot of people in our age bracket can relate to this.
Right, very relatable, very relatable. Some of it a little... You can tell that they aged themselves off the show a little bit as it progressed, and you also could tell...
Is that why the last season was like that? Because I didn't really like the last season.
They aged out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Because the last season was just kind of boring. They didn't really close out chapters.
The show was
but I think it's relatable to how we are like in our early 20s.
Yeah,
all we do is party and shit.
Yeah.
Now as we getting older, everybody's getting spouses. People working.
I was about to say, I feel like it's reflective. Like,
it's literally reflective of how
everybody
how
get together for birthdays, or weddings, or baby showers.
Important shit.
It started out like the show. I guess started out late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, and then it got into like. But it just seemed like it just jumped to like 37. Like it just seemed
because when they entered the show, everybody was turning like 32 or 33.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, but it felt older than that. It started to feel like the actual people.
That's right, John. You about to be there. you about to be there, John.
What, right. 30, I was about to say. You on the way.
In the 30, you're young.
That's why I feel like it was reflective of what really happened.
It really is
exacerbated.
You think?
I guess I just don't like that on TV.
Exacerbated only because
you don't want to relate too much.
Only to an extent.
Like, damn, yo, that shit really us and shit. That shit wild.
When we talk about it, it is really what happens.
Yeah, no, for real.
We get together for important
niggas got kids, niggas got wives and girlfriends and shit. Like
people move.
Yeah, people just
got real life.
Slow down.
It's a lot.
That's really why it was like that.
Yeah,
and I like that. But I think. One thing is when I always watch shows that's based in big cities, it's very unrealistic from my perspective because that's not how small cities move.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's so much to do in LA.
Right. Well, that's kind of why I like Love and Marriage Huntsville because because
Huntsville is slower than Baltimore.
Right, and so I appreciate that they kind of chose a low key city.
Right.
Because it's like you get to see how what they do on the regular is different from what we do.
I think I'm ready to see shows that's not based
right.
in
I need
New York.
somebody to like go to Nashville. Well, they Love and Marriage is going to DC, but like if they do another one, I feel like Nashville would be good.
I need something
like
that's
stay
not
at the
Atlanta,
low key.
Right. No Atlanta, no New York.
DC and not Baltimore.
Because DC see more popular.
Baltimore's market not big enough.
Yeah. Bullshit.
That's all it is.
They need
I think Love and Marriage could have done better in Baltimore versus DC, but.
Baltimore got a lot of good
DC doesn't have much.
But the thing is, I think if they do it in Baltimore, it's gonna be a lot more scenes for them traveling to DC.
That's true. Like everything gonna be in Silver Spring.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the outskirts of Baltimore, but not directly in Baltimore.
Nothing but transplants. That's why it's weird when people do stuff in DC.
Yeah,
it feels like
half y'all niggas weren't even born there.
Nobody's from
Nobody
DC.
Nobody knows about DC.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like no essence of the place. Like I feel like Baltimore, we're gonna go through the hood. Like we're going to.
You have to be in the hood.
Yeah, somebody's cousin's gonna die. Like you're gonna see.
Hey, yo, that's somebody's cousin.
It's gonna be riveting.
That is wild.
Somebody's cousin's cousin. Like every year, somebody extended in your family, you know somebody got shot, and that's one thing about Baltimore that's kind of creepy. Like you know somebody that got shot. You're not far removed.
Yeah, that's true.
Every year.
Yeah.
But anyway,
sad, actually,
it is. But it's
especially as you get older.
Do y'all ever thought about leaving Baltimore yet?
I mean, I did. I came back.
I went to Bowie.
In the PG County.
Spoken like a true Baltimore. I went over east.
Over east is another city, yo.
Yeah.
West Baltimore and East Baltimore, two different places.
Night and day.
That's not true.
It really is.
It really is. How do you think it's not?
That is true.
I
don't like East Baltimore.
And that's where you from.
And that's where most of my family from. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, I always had planned to leave Baltimore, but I think at this point, I'm probably not.
I think because
when you say leave Baltimore, do you mean leave Maryland?
Yes, that's what he
means.
Leave Maryland.
Okay.
Because once you leave Baltimore, you might as well leave the whole state.
Well, no, because like leaving Baltimore is like moving to Laurel. Plenty of people do that.
That's DC.
Well, that's what I said.
You live in DC.
Gonna be out of there soon.
Once you move to Laurel, you in DC now.
I disagree because I think Laurel is perfectly in between Baltimore and DC.
But you're going to
the 30 minutes each way.
Exactly.
But you're leaning towards DC. everything.
So you're saying like Laurel is towards DC and Columbia is towards Baltimore? Is that where you draw the line? Because some people I feel as
though once you move out to like Laurel,
because Laurel's also
you're going to go that way before you come in.
I disagree.
Really?
I feel like it depends on who you know.
And what you do.
Yeah. And it's funny,
if you lived in DC and you moved to Laurel, then of course you're gonna go to DC more. If you lived in Baltimore and then moved to Laurel, you're gonna go back to wherever you were from.
And I feel like if you're from DC, Laurel would be probably like the third or fourth option, as opposed to everywhere else around.
I wanted to talk more regional in our podcast because I realized that we don't talk much about where we are, and a lot of podcasts do talk about where specifically their location.
That's true.
Because it has a lot to do with this podcast. Because
podcasts like what? Big podcasts in big cities.
Most of them in New York.
Most of them in New York. But like in Baltimore, you don't really hear about like. You don't hear young black. My mom made a good point. Like young black professionals in Baltimore, it's like they act like they don't exist.
It's a lot of us here.
Our mayor's literally.
I was about to say you got to think about how many colleges are in Maryland alone,
right?
And so that brings a lot of people to Maryland and Baltimore because of all the colleges that are here.
So, but this is the only problem. The only issue is when you start talking to Baltimore people that's truly from Baltimore, they don't accept us Baltimore Countyans the same way.
I think it's a little different now.
I do too. I think that was some young shit.
Because y'all was trying to
expire. I think we grew out.
Because y'all was trying to aspire to be what we was. We are.
So when you call it the T, yeah.
Y'all wanted to be like us. You know,
that was some young shit. That was because when we were younger,
y'all trying to make poverty so cool.
Hey yo.
When we were younger,
y'all was. It was like, yo, I'm living in poverty, yo.
John, like, get your shit off, John.
Right?
You're making it seem like you can't live in poverty in the county.
Facts.
No, you can live it. You ain't been to Dundee.
I think
you ain't been to Patapsco.
It's probably poverty in Towson.
Oh no.
Oh, it's absolutely poverty. What?
That's Parkville. That's where Parkville. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. McLean Blue.
Yeah, McLean. Woo.
It's really yo, it's probably worse out there.
So let me tell you.
It's harder it's probably harder for people like that to live in the county amongst people.
So let me tell you,
who are more affluent than they are.
Dave Chappelle,
Baltimore City, like most of us,
everybody broke.
So all of
Dave Chappelle said it best. I had just enough money to be around.
Yep.
Right.
That was my life. Right. We was around, like we didn't have money. Everybody around us had money. So you just like, yo,
and all y'all got clumped in with them,
and we got clumped in. Well, if you thought I had money because of my location, just because I lived out there, we didn't have money.
Right.
Like I still was, I was trying to get the reduced lunch like everybody else. Like, but yeah, it's interesting being a black person that grew up in the suburbs. I always say this, the hardest time was given to me by other black people.
But I also think that matters less when you like leave quote unquote Baltimore. For example, when you go to Bowie, or like for me when I went to Del State,
they don't care
because they don't know the difference between Baltimore City and county. So you just say Baltimore and that's it. Like it don't matter from there because they not in that city. That's like too regional for them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like
only
that's
Baltimore
some young shit.
Baltimore people that's not from the city.
Like where you from? Woodlawn. Where's that at? Baltimore.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, you only really care about that when you're young. After that, it's not that deep.
Yeah, unless you get famous. Famous people have a hard time with it.
I don't know.
Not
Wale still be good. He from PG, right? He right from PG.
What, Montgomery County.
Well, Martin claim DC. He not. Dave Chappelle, he's not. Yeah, they all from Maryland.
All the Migos are from the suburbs. They not from Atlanta proper.
Why is that? Yeah. Why do people? Why as black people do we just hang on to?
That's what's known.
Because I think because we associate struggle with blackness. It's like if you didn't struggle, then you're less black.
Right.
And struggle, so even though, like I said, my example with the Migos, they are very suburban. They were raised very suburban.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But they feel like they would have lost credibility if they didn't claim Atlanta proper as rappers.
Right. And the funny thing is it's usually amongst your peers. Yeah. Really. Because I remember being in school. That was the biggest thing. Like we was damn near like a reservoir, Lock Raven Reservoir, and y'all want to say, yo, but I'm from the city, yo. I'm like, come on, guys.
Y'all here trying to sing. You trying to sing gangster. You trying to sing hard.
Exactly.
You trying to
gangster.
Like,
that's a stretch. Gangster's a lot.
Well, I'm serious.
Are you saying just trying to sing tough?
Yeah, when somebody back then when you saying that, when you saying yo from Baltimore, saying yo I ain't no bitch.
Right.
That's what you saying.
A lot of bitches in Baltimore.
Huh? Said Melvin brought back 2003 slang. You think gangster?
Hard. I'm becoming old in front of y'all face.
Yeah, he's aging right in front of us.
Yeah,
but I always think that's an interesting dichotomy of just like. you know, you're from, because we're from Baltimore. Y'all from Baltimore. Y'all live in Baltimore County most of your life. Because then people, they say, where were you born? I said, I was literally born in Baltimore City at Mercy Hospital. Mm-hmm. And I said, my first.
I mean, but who wasn't?
I said, my first place, my residence was Upland Apartments. They're gone. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, oh wow, you from the village? No, I don't think I'm from the village.
No,
nor do I want to be from the village.
Yeah,
but if you want to call me from Emerson Village, great.
Well, that's like because my mother, she was born in Brooklyn and lived there till she was 3. But you will never hear her say she's from Brooklyn because she don't know shit about Brooklyn.
It's really you say where you grew up at. Not
exactly, she don't know nothing about Brooklyn. Somebody ask her, she gonna be like, I don't know. She was 3. That's why and lived in the projects in Baltimore after that. So she know more about Baltimore than Brooklyn. Like,
so how does? All right, so we're gonna have some of us have kids.
She went to church in Park Heights.
I mean, my dad was raised in Emerson Village. My mother was raised in the projects. So I mean, we like the first generation out of poverty, literally. Like,
what's poverty? Moving on up.
Hold on, what's poverty? That's why
they got that.
I think if you have to live in the projects or live in Section 8, I don't think
everybody that lived in projects was in poverty.
Because
at one point,
I'm gonna say this is you got me.
So they was there by choice.
At one point, that was the only place we could live.
That's true. That's true.
It was just where everybody lived, even if you had a job.
You didn't know that you had a better option. Yeah, that's true.
And I think, know if that's true. And poverty is such a spectrum. I'm telling you, some people say they came out, got it out the mud. I'm like, that's the concrete.
I can agree that some people probably lived in the projects past the time that they needed to.
Yes.
Just because they did not think that they had a better option.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
If you're born in the projects and then you growing out of it and you don't know no different.
Do y'all think y'all grew up in the projects?
People just living there initially because they didn't have a choice to.
No one.
I mean, they had a choice. They had a choice between.
And they were like, "Oh, let me choose here."
Outside. Yeah,
right.
Like, no, let me go live in the hood.
He was close to the projects. Right. No one was close to the projects.
Huh? Yeah. I used to live on South Gilmore Street.
I wouldn't go there now.
I lived there for about.
It's so many streets.
Mall almost had us moving into the hood. You remember that?
Oh, over there by my church.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Yeah.
What street?
Over there, off of Hilton. What street is that?
Hilton, where the school is?
No,
the gas station.
Yeah,
yes.
No, not that. It's actually West Mulberry. The actual block by Loudon.
You said Mulberry? Did you say Mulberry?
West Mulberry, yes.
Over you know Hilton. West Mulberry is?
Yeah, I had a house there.
Yeah,
the intersection
that never about moving there.
Wasn't that where they was about to build the beltway that never finished?
But then we have a few houses over there. So another one, like where my brother house is
in the village.
Huh?
In the village?
No, right behind my church. Actually, no, it was 2 houses. So right behind the church.
That's the one I'm talking about.
My sister's house. Yeah, that's the good block. And then you go over to
because when you in that part, it is block by block.
Yeah, it's block by block.
Is Mulberry the one where you go down the street and then it's a turn and there's no lights?
That's Mulberry. That's the Mulberry.
Oh, that shit was right.
Yeah. That's I know exactly which one. Yeah,
nigga left me in the car to go get. I'm like, nah, nigga. I'm leave me out.
You ain't leaving me out here like that.
I told y'all, you
don't be able to defend myself.
I'm not coming with you, shorty.
I ain't no thug. But we got to get back to Insecure. Now I'm going to have to cut this and put it back where it's supposed to be. So my hot take on the Insecure thing is Issa, not the writer of the show, but the character on the show, she got a lot of anxious tendencies that a lot of people don't really want to acknowledge.
Tell us more, Mr. Black Girls Are Lit.
Thank you.
Oh, shit.
I think the way she carried herself I think sometimes, we're going to get into the deeper conversation. The way she moved made the men in her life, they put them in very awkward situations. And I don't think we talk about that enough, whereas the woman's behaviors put men in situations that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
She damn near got that man into a fight because of her.
So you're talking about Nate? I think you got to talk specific.
She did not almost get him into a fight. They chose to react that way.
That was all Lawrence. I'll put that on Lawrence before I put it on Issa.
Yeah, I can't put that on her.
We can put it on Lawrence. It's just the way I just think she moves recklessly.
I think that's a bad example. Like that fight.
I'm about to say that's not a good example of her being.
Okay, yeah, Lawrence was wild.
Lawrence. That was all.
Because it started with the pit beef conversation.
Yeah, they was already going back about pit beef in LA. Like, come on.
They sitting there like, yo.
Like, are you serious?
Come on, yo. Like,
so in that situation, you walk into a situation with your new work and your old work is there. Are y'all leaving?
No.
Well, how toxic is the relationship though? How toxic was that relationship?
Yeah.
Toxic.
And how informed is my current there with me? Like how informed is she up into that, like, for that situation?
I ask yourself that question.
See, in Nate's situation, it was kind of tough because I think you can tell they were like focusing on him and not being comfortable with Lawrence, because when she told him that Lawrence was moved back for the child
insecurities, his insecurities like
popped out immediately,
because he already know the toxic situation. He's like, yo, what the fuck am I about to get into?
Right, but she warned him, so there's like, even though you're not comfortable, I'm letting you know in advance so you can make a choice.
And I think that's another reason how she could have jumped in front of it, because by putting it like, hey, Lawrence, I ran into my ex randomly. He's back in town for the baby.
That's what I guess
what she could have did.
That's where I'm more worried about. That's toxic to me.
Because he didn't get informed until he said something about it.
Right.
He mentioned it. He's oh yeah, he's already back.
He's been here for a while.
Yeah, he's been here for a while. So he's like, oh shit, you knew that already.
To me, that's betrayal.
Yeah. And I think that's where his
that's betrayal.
That's where all his doubts started like surfacing.
Because if you knew,
well, that's because as soon as he moved back, her doubts started surfacing.
Yeah.
So like they both was having doubts.
Oh shit, he moved back and didn't say nothing.
Right.
Right. So
though, granted, she didn't know right away that he moved back either. She found out later.
Yeah, she found out she was stalking his fucking page. Like, oh shit, he's back.
Should she have told him right then? Right, as soon as she found out? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, because he probably be like, how do you find this out?
Yeah.
Like, I was scrolling on his Instagram. I don't even follow this nigga no more.
Or how long have you known? Yeah, it is.
I don't. How much do you like? So, for example, you said y'all saying y'all would have went in that situation. Y'all wouldn't have left the party. How much?
I don't have fun.
That's my friend's party. Like,
what's your onus to feel your ex in on your past relationship, especially when they're confronted with that person?
Feel your current.
Your current. I'm sorry. Yeah, your current and on your past relationship.
Right. I feel like, especially if there's a chance that they run into each other, I'm gonna tell them anything that I think is integral and very pertinent. Yeah. If there are small details that I might not. But that might come up in conversation. But if there's anything like that, like might trigger me if I see them or something like that, I'm gonna make sure that my current knows that.
See, in Issa and Lauren's situation, they have a really, really deep history.
Yeah, and that's makes it worse.
I think it needs to be known exactly what's going on, because they done broke up, got back together, broke up.
Same friend circle.
Yeah, same circle, same everything. So I think at that point, it should have been on Issa to let. Just like Sid was saying, just give him a heads up on what's going on. With
more time to think. With more time.
The red flag was the fact that she didn't tell me to move back.
But also, I don't know if Nathan, even if Issa would have given him more of a heads up, if he ever would have been comfortable. Like when they was looking for a house and she mentioned how men are when she lives with them. And it seemed awkward because
let him.
They knew that he had. She knew. I mean, Nathan knew that Issa had once lived with Lawrence. So I don't know why that's an awkward conversation. Yes, I lived with a nigga before. Like, what's the big deal?
But tell him and let him figure it out at that point. At that point, it's not on her anymore.
Yeah,
right.
It's on him on how he reacts.
And that's why I'm saying.
Can't take blame for that.
Even though he knew that he was still being insecure about her having lived with a man before. Yeah. So I like some of it was on her, but some of it is on him. Do we
not? I guess, do we not like? So you're right. You got to let people react. How often do you do that in your life? Whereas though you let people react, you put the information out there and just let them react, or do you prefer to not? You don't like that?
I do it pretty often. I think.
I'm gonna say yeah.
But I like doing it in person so I can see the reaction.
You don't like the reaction?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. I don't like reaction. I don't like rejection. I don't like confrontation. I don't like any of that.
You had to have that mindset ready for that conversation, because you know.
I'm never really ready for the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. The best way you prepare for more confrontations is get more confrontation.
That's really the only way. But if you don't like confrontation, that's hard.
I feel catch 22 at that point.
when as a man specifically, when you run away from confrontation, it finds you in a different way, and it compounds. That's the only thing you gotta like.
Can't find you when you sleep.
That's why. Jesus Christ. That's why I prefer to have confrontational conversations face to face, because then it's like. Most of the time, you can't just leave. Like, we're going to sit here. We're going to have this conversation. Right. In text, you're going to get your smart remarks off. You're going to take your time. Like, I don't need none of that. I'd rather, let's do this face to face.
Have y'all ever dealt with a person, or whether it be platonic or romantic, that says, I prefer to talk in text? I actually think that's some bullshit.
Talk rather than text? I think
they rather text rather than talk to you in person.
Because my thing is this.
Obviously, I thought you meant the other.
My only thing about that is like, so I like to text, so now you're enforcing your will to actually talk.
So he's the opposite.
Oh, so you feel as though if you're a texter, like you, so if you want to text your feelings out, I should give you that grace to text your feelings out if I don't want to talk.
Pretty much. But or like it's like do it in person, like, but saying like, hey, call me. or forcing me to get on the phone to have. I actually think
most serious conversations should be had face to face.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
I don't think people should be able to text behind a phone. Like I don't feel like first and foremost, paragraphs scared me. You know what I mean? I really don't want to dissect.
My hard thing there though is that some people definitely do communicate better in written form. Yeah. That's like kids learning better at home than in school. Like people are different communicators, so I can't take that away from
communication deficit.
I'm about to show you how old I am.
Texting gives me time to formulate what I want to say.
You be handwriting letters?
No, not handwriting. But if it's something that deep, I'd rather see it in an email. A text?
Fucking good.
No, really. I said I'm gonna age myself, but I'd rather see it in the email.
So you don't want like a 4-page text?
I don't want to see a text that's like, and I gotta scroll up 4 times because that's gonna intimidate me. And I don't want that. Yeah. A long email don't intimidate me.
So Mel, you break up with girls in email?
No.
He's like, no, that's not a long message. He said,
yo, Mel started with per my last email. We're no longer together.
Nah. So even though it's an email, per my last text message, we're done.
We talked about me and not being able to like communicate and debate right away easily.
Yeah.
And very coherently.
Is that what you have adopted in your relationship?
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't text that. If I had to write something down and send it to Bree for some reason, it would be an email. It wouldn't be a text.
That's interesting. I never heard that before.
No, I think I told you Tia and Tamara are like that. Tia, I think, prefers she will send an email with her whatever her grievance is with her sister. But Tamara prefers to call, and that was an issue for them for a moment. But they had to understand that they communicate differently, and they had to figure out a way for it to work for both of them. So that because the one that doesn't like texting took it offensively, like, why would you send me an email?
I need to see your facial expressions.
We're twins. Like, why are you emailing?
I need to see your subliminal shit. I need to see what your eyebrows move.
But everybody feels like, sometimes people feel like they can't get everything out, especially when you react in that way.
It's a lot of shit I wish I could do.
You cry in front of a nigga, they stop talking. So sometimes they need to get it all out and not see your tears and then have the conversation in person.
You gotta learn how to ignore them tears.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know about that.
For real.
You saying that from a person that's easier for you to do that. So
right.
It's easy for you to say, I'd rather do it. I'd rather see it this way.
No, conversations.
But for somebody on the other side of that, it's like, yo, all right, I need to get it out, like she said. But once I get it out, then we can talk about it. Because then I can rebut. Now we can talk about parts of the email that you did like, and that you didn't like, or
right?
You got mad about, and then you're like, okay, now I can rebut because now you heard everything that I had to say.
Exactly. So it's not that he's never gonna have a conversation in person. It's just he just needs to get it all out, and then it's like, all right, boom, now let's talk.
See,
because you got my full thought.
Exactly.
See, for me, in the heat of the moment of conversation, I may fuck around, have like a misplaced joke, say something smart, and not be intentional, but it just happens to come out. So I was just like, you like, no what?
Yeah, I think all your jokes are intentional.
I would agree.
Like, I don't like, so
deflect.
For me, the text is way more easy. Like, I get to formulate it. Like, all right, cool, get straight to the point. Now, if we talking, I'm gonna take the edge off. I'm like, oh shit, well. Fuck you mean?
I guess the one
try to lighten the mood.
Yeah, I gotta try like
the one thing in communication that's interesting is when people start to filter people too much. So for example, if we like for example, let's take it out of a romantic. If we homeboys and you know how we talk on the regular, you ever find somebody get extra sensitive when they get to a text message? It just be like, hold on. Yeah.
But that's usually because they can't read your tone. That's usually what that is.
But you know me though.
True.
But if I'm already emotional, I'm gonna read it how I read it.
If we text enough, we should be able to.
If we talk enough, you know how I talk. So
I understand that.
To me, I feel as though one thing. I think friendships, relationships, mom, dad, whoever, like you gotta assume good intent. I just don't think when we communicate. Good. I know it sounds great. It sounds amazing, but I think people need to communicate more, assuming good intent.
Right.
I assume good intent. I had to learn how to assume good intent.
Right.
Because I used to be very defensive. I'm not as defensive as you.
Do you have to assume one way or another? Or
you have to assume good intent.
Because I understand. I understand that approach when you're in a situation where it's like, I'm going to work through this with you regardless. But for people that have been hurt, that may not be willing to work through some shit, it might be harder for them to always assume good intent.
But when you run away from hurt, you're gonna run to another hurt. Everybody's gonna be hurt. We're all gonna get.
But there are certain levels of hurt that you are willing and unwilling to.
Which one are you unwilling to?
It depends. I don't know. I'm not willing to deal with like being abused or something like that.
That's why it's always interesting, like in friend conversations, family, and people always be like, "Well, they cut people off." I'm always leery to cut people off type people.
I'm more of a downgrade. I'll let you continue to get downgraded until we done.
But if you, that's worse.
Yeah. How?
You ghost? You ghost?
No, I'm not down. I'm like downgrading you from best friend to friend.
It's a slow walk ghost.
Yeah.
So if you cut somebody off, I
didn't cut them off.
I don't. No, I'm just saying in my mind, if I'm cutting somebody off. It's not cutting off if I never tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You didn't stop talking to me. You didn't cut me off. Stop telling people
I agree with
that. Cut them off. You didn't cut them off. You just stopped talking to them.
Yeah. No, when I downgrade people, they know why. Right. I downgraded somebody this year.
A cutoff is official. Like I've put closure to the situation. Like no, I don't fuck with you.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's like you did something.
To use an example, but we can't use that example this year. Go ahead.
This year, I used an example. And
go ahead.
Hey yo.
Don't nobody look over here.
I'm looking straight at Sid.
All right, thanks.
But my example of like downgrading somebody, it's like you did something wrong that to me hurt me, and you know what you did wrong. I communicate what you did wrong.
Have you told them they've been downgraded?
Yes.
What is the conversation? You've been downgraded.
No, they know they on my shit list, like literally, and they be trying to get off of it. And so it's like I'm not cutting you off as a friend, but I now have different expectations of you because you let me down.
That hurts. That hurts them worse.
And that's fine. It should because you hurt me.
Oh, wow. You still hurt.
Yes, okay. I mean I literally said just did this, and he know.
You downgraded somebody?
Yeah.
Have you downgraded somebody, Mel?
I told y'all the situation with the moving situation. He already knows.
Or you cut off?
Isn't downgrading to me? Downgrading and cutting off is the same thing.
Nah.
No. Well, until we get to the bottom, cause like I said, if you starting at best friend, I'ma downgrade you to friend. So
let me ask you a question.
Casual friend, associate.
Oh, you got.
I'm giving you chances.
Let me ask you a question.
But y'all know I'm gonna give a chance.
And what status is still a cookout? Where can I still get it to cookout?
Friend.
A friend?
Yeah, friend. You can still.
Some people live there. Then
I don't think I have that.
Plenty of people live there.
Yeah.
I guess I have. It's like 3 levels. I got my friends, his best friends, close friends.
The friends that you consider
all the same. Then I got my acquaintances that I went to college with or I went to school with, poly, and I know them with, and then every time I see it's nothing, and then it's just others.
Right. Others. No, I got more levels because there's some people that's like we talk multiple times a week. I consider you family, so that's different to me.
So by default, we gotta be family.
I would hate to see Melvin's contact list on his Microsoft Teams or Skype at work.
It's Skype right now.
Yeah, that's